All right, everybody, we're back. Another episode of the Seven Figures or Bust podcast. This is episode 152, the number one podcast in the world for growing your insurance business. I'm Christian Brindle. He's Glenn Shelton, and we are back with another doozy of an episode.
Double, I don't know what it is. It seems like your mic will be fine, and then we'll start the show, and then your microphone wigs out on you for a second. I don't know. It's just technology hates you. We are back. We are back with another massive episode. Appreciate everyone tuning in. We had a huge episode yesterday, and I wanted to spend a second. I was telling Christian before we went live here, I want to take a second, revisit episode 151. Yesterday's episode got a lot of attention. Obviously, a very topical episode with everything that's going on, AEP, some of these non-commissionable plans.
Can I mention one thing?
Go for it.
So, I'd like to correct a statement I made about Blue Cross of Illinois.
Thank you. Misinformation. That's exactly what I was about to say. I was literally about to say this.
So Blue Cross of Texas is indeed pulling all of their commissions on new Medicare Advantage sales. That's correct. Not on renewals. Renewals will continue to pay. Blue Cross of Illinois is pulling like 90% of their plans or something like that. There's 8 to 10 plans that are going non-commissionable and 3 that are remaining commissionable. So I said yesterday on the show they were going all non-commissionable in Illinois. I misspoke. I was mistaken. But after we did this...
Sorry? Can you say sorry, please?
I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. I could if I was. After we did the show yesterday, one of the biggest carriers in the country put out an announcement that they were releasing a whole slew of additional plans that were being made non-commissionable as of October 1st. Vast majority of them, it looks like PPO plans, which is not super surprising. PPO is kind of a direction that a lot of carriers are trying to move away from. And then in other markets where there's PPO plans that remain commissionable, if they remain commissioned, they're cutting the commission down from the street level comp down to like in the low 200s, right? So that's some big news that happened after we did that show yesterday.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, it's just there's a little bit of uneasiness. I did a live stream last night in the Facebook group, just kind of trying to put some minds at ease that this is not the end of the world for many of you. It shouldn't be anyway. It will be if you allow it to be, but
right.
There's ways to maneuver around this. There's ways to get around this, and there's certainly ways to grow your business. What are your thoughts on this whole situation before we get into the main topic?
I took a screenshot yesterday of a post. It was actually comments in one of these posts, and I was going to share the screenshot, but then I was like, I don't want to put these people on blast. And then I was going to take the time to black out their pictures and names, but I just didn't bother doing that. So I'm just going to give you guys a quick recap. So one of the comments was, all renewals are going away from this major carrier. And then the next comment underneath it is, really? I didn't see that. Can you clarify? And then the person comments again and goes, oh, sorry, I was wrong. There is so much misinformation floating around right now in this panic storm of what's going on. It's creating this snowball effect that I haven't seen before in this space. This sort of escalation of fear. I mean, it's like a Cold War level of fear happening right now among agents. So I want to take a second and let you get this is like a PSA, public service announcement, just because some schmuck in the comments says something, could totally be misinformation.
Totally.
Again, Christian, I thought we had the best information when we shared it with you guys yesterday, talking about the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois plans. And there was a few that are commissionable. So like we got something wrong and we thought we had all the information. And sometimes people are just spouting things in comments and they're not even trying. So take everything you're seeing, hearing, and reading right now with a grain of salt and be patient and wait for more clarification, because I think we're very close to having a very clear picture of what this AEP will look like. And personally, honestly, and Christian and I have talked a lot about this kind of offline as well as online here with you guys. I think it could have been a lot worse. That's
absolutely
kind of, again, maybe I'm being an optimist here, but I think this could have been significantly worse versus what we are seeing right now.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I don't think it's nearly as bad as people are making it out to be. There's certain markets that are getting hit really hard. New York comes to mind, Georgia comes to mind.
Connecticut sounds like
Connecticut,
Idaho, Nebraska.
Yeah.
I saw Nebraska mentioned. I don't know if that's true or not.
But that being said, even in some of those other markets, when I've looked at them, there are things that you can do, right? There are moves that you can make to grow your business and write new business. I think that for the people that are gonna find a way to grow and block out some of this noise and really just kind of truck forward and grow this AEP, they're going to be in such amazing position going forward, because this thing is going to stabilize. I spoke with a carrier yesterday who will remain nameless, and they said basically like, we're kind of looking at it with the expectation that we're going to take our lumps a little bit this year, but there's fully a plan to, circle back around and kind of correct the direction of things as we kind of get some of these things figured out. It's not a long-term, this is the way it's going to be forever type of field we're in. But the people that grow the most and the people that make the most money in anything do it in times of panic and uncertainty in anything, right? Business, investing, stock market, everything.
So a perfect segue for what I'm about to say here is I think you were on paternity leave when this happened. So I don't think we got a chance to discuss this, but Warren Buffett, one of the legendary investors, arguably the best investor of all time, made an insane investment into United Healthcare. Billions of capital.
Yep.
If the best investor of all time is willing to saddle up an insane amount of cash to put it into arguably the biggest Medicare carrier, I think that speaks volumes about most likely the direction that the future looks like for Medicare in general, So yeah, some short-term bumpiness. There's some turbulence right now, really. I mean, that's just what it is. And there's lots of reasons behind that. We've already kind of gotten into that. So I don't know if we need to kind of go back down that rabbit hole, but I just wanted to start today's episode and kind of revisit yesterday's.
Yes, absolutely. One thing I want to talk about is, people are asking like, okay, how do I grow my business this AEP? Right? We talked about this a lot. Before we get into the main topic, because we do have a great main topic for you guys today, but we want to talk about this. With Lead Heroes pre-scheduled appointments. I'm so bullish on these right now because so much work is done trying to set appointments or trying to have a conversation with a beneficiary sometimes. This is a service that is so unique and there's nothing really like it, to where we capture the scope of appointment at Lead Heroes. We schedule it on your calendar 48 hours out. And you basically just wake up to a day full of appointments. It's so unique. can schedule some of these, and I mean you can get in on these now, and we can schedule them on your calendar whenever you want during AEP, right? So like maybe you're going to focus on service work at the beginning of October. Totally fine. You can have these go on your calendar basically whenever you want. November, for example, the end of October, like you can kind of, kind of steer the ship in that regard. Talk to the people about these pre-scheduled appointments, because I don't think people understand how powerful they really are. They're not a lead. They're an appointment.
When I was an agent, and I've told this story many times, but as an agent, I spent an incredible amount of time trying to fill my own schedule. I was spending 15, 20 hours a week, and I was focused on life insurance at the time. And I didn't have to worry about all of these additional rules that we have to deal with here in the Medicare space with the 48-hour rule, like Christian just mentioned. So we're collecting that opt-in, that permission to contact. We are then contacting them to schedule a personalized appointment, getting one-to-one consent. So they are knowing that it's you contacting them, or you're the one that's showing up at their house, capturing a verbal scope of appointment. Again, another thing that you have to worry about, that we're going to have pre-filled literally with the actual preset appointment.
Mm-hmm.
And now that is showing up on your calendar. So it's an A to Z, taking someone from, hey, I'm interested in learning more about my options this AEP. Okay, we're going to have you meet with Agent Brindle on Thursday at 1:00, or they're going to call you if it's a telephone appointment. He's going to call you. We're going to go through this verbal scope. We're going to schedule that appointment. And then we have a QA team that reviews that appointment and makes sure it's legitimate, makes sure we captured that, shows up on your calendar. And you also get a copy of the recording for your records, because again, you have to for CMS compliance. So we're literally jumping all of these hurdles for you at Lead Heroes. And the other thing is we can navigate your calendar, your schedule. So obviously you're going to have a lot of kind of ups and downs. You might have a crazy busy week. You might have a week that's a little bit lighter where you can take more appointments. We can work based on your schedule. So in my opinion, of all the different things that you could be doing marketing wise, this is one of the most powerful programs, this AEP, that you can take advantage of. We have them on discount right now for a limited time. So you can save up to $200 when you buy the minimum of 20 appointments. There's no long-term commitments. You don't have to buy hundreds of preset appointments. You can start with just 20. We can break these up as little as, a couple at a time. Just kind of stretch them out over AEP. You could get 10 a day. You could knock 20 out in 2 days. It's totally up to you and your schedule. So take advantage of this promotion. It ends next Wednesday. We literally just have a week left until this promotion's going to be gone. And we sell these out every year too. So it's really just a matter of when the quantity is going to be gone as well.
Am my audio coming through okay before I say this next part?
Yeah, you were cutting out a little bit, but yeah, you're okay. Good now.
So I wanted to highlight a couple things you said there. Number one, right? A lot of you are wondering how you can grow your business this AEP. We literally have a solution for you. Like, we have a solution for you that is unique. There's nothing like it, and it's beyond efficient, right? That's number one. Number two, you mentioned, you're talking about how they just show up on your calendar. Guys, it's like magic. Like, it is literally
Disney
like magic. It's like Disney magic. Okay. Like you start your day. Imagine this, right? You start your day. You're like, you get out of bed. You're like, that's how I get out of bed. You're like, eat your breakfast, your Wheaties. You go, you open up your laptop.
Our audio only listeners are gonna love this.
you open up. That's what I imagine you sound like when you're eating your Wheaties. You open up your computer, right? You're like, let's see what the day holds, and you have a schedule full of appointments. You're like, wow, look at all these potential clients that want to talk to me, right? Like it is like magic. Again, scopes captured. It's done for you. It's one-to-one consent compliant, right? It's pretty unique, pretty magical. So we have a solution for you guys, right? There's no reason why this AEP can't be magical.
Your biggest and best AEP yet. If you want more information, so again, head over to leadheroes.com. There's a lot of information over there on the site. You can place your order right now. We're also doing a webinar on Monday. I believe that's 1 p.m. Eastern. We just sent out some more information to everybody on our email list this morning, where we have an event created in the Facebook group, Seven Figure Medicare Agent. You can find it there, and we'll be talking about that a lot more on Monday. Freebie Friday is this Friday. We're going to be giving away some of these presets for free. For free. Don't know exactly how many yet. We don't have, again, an unlimited quantity here. But all you have to do is comment on one of the live streams we do this week right here in the Seven Figure Medicare Agent Facebook group, just like today. Automatically enters you into Freebie Friday, and you might be a lucky winner of some free Medicare preset appointments with scope of appointment that you can use this annual enrollment period. We have generated almost 100,000 of these over the past several years. So it's been very, very popular. We get great feedback. We have review videos on the site you can watch as well of real agents who've used this program.
Totally.
Personally, one of my favorite things we've ever generated because it solves so many problems. And that's what we do at Lead Heroes, is solve problems. So we'll make sure the link is in the stream. In the comments below.
One last thing I wanted to say about this before we go into the main topic.
Yes.
People are asking some great questions. Can you do it by zip code? Can you do it by one state only? Yes and yes, absolutely on both of those. We can do it by zip code. We can do face-to-face. We can do telephonic. It's a very, interesting program. I remember a couple AEPs ago when I was still selling before the merger, right? In the first year or two we knew each other, you were kind of experimenting with these early on, and I bought some as a customer, and I needed volume. I needed additional volume on my calendar.
Yeah.
And you guys scheduled my appointments so efficiently and so fast that I had no free time in my calendar. It was just like filled. It was unbelievable. We were starting to double book them, just to make sure that, if there was anybody that didn't show up, we'd have a second person to call. So there's nothing like this, guys. There's nothing like this. And again, like Glenn said, only so much volume. Once we fill up on our ability to, once we fill up our ability to kind of hit our maximum volume of what we can provide, we won't be able to take any more orders for a while. So get in on this while you can. This goes till September 17th, correct?
The current discount goes until September 17th. Typically by October 1st, we're pretty much booked out through the first 6 weeks of AEP, which obviously that's pretty much prime time, right? So it's going to be this, are we going to book out and sell out? Or can you get in before the promotion ends? I don't know what's going to happen first. We might sell out before the promo even ends. Right now, we still have a lot of availability, so don't wait. Jump on this. And super excited. And we have a great team at Lead Heroes that can answer additional questions too. You don't even have to wait.
Totally.
You can shoot an email over to leads, L-E-A-D-S, leads@leadheroes.com. Lester, Randy, we just brought on another person to help out too, because again, we got so much going on with AEP, and potentially in the comments as well, Lester or Randy might be able to answer right now. So don't hesitate. Reach out if you have questions. If you want us to check your area, if you want to place an order, we're here to help. And there's no reason that this can't be your biggest and best AEP ever. I really believe that.
Agreed. Okay, let's shift gears into the main topic of today's episode, and that is, as the title says, 48-hour scope of appointment rule going away.
Woo!
What? What?
Woo!
This is not a guaranteed thing, but it is a possibility. So let's share my screen and talk a little bit about
Let's do it.
what's going on. Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, so this is on a website called IA Magazine, something like that. It's titled Independent Brokers Time Act introduced in the Senate. This was published September 4th, 2025. So last month, Senator Mike Rounds of South Dakota introduced the Independent Broker Relief and Oversight of Knowingly Egregious and Repetitive Sales Tactics in Medicare Enrollment Act of 2025. What a name for this bill, by the way. Senator Catherine Cortez Masto joined Senator Rounds as a co-sponsor of the bill and has been referred to the Senate Finance Committee to await further action. This bipartisan bill directs the Health and Human Services, HHS Secretary, to update regulations for independent agents, brokers, and third-party marketing organizations, TPMOs, under Medicare Parts C and D. It aims to protect seniors and licensed professionals by clarifying TPMO definitions. Fantastic thing, by the way, because as of right now, everybody's a TPMO. Brokers, lead companies, tech companies, your mom, your dog, your grandma, everybody. Yeah, your mom is a TPMO. Your mom. Which, for those of you that don't know, TPMO stands for Third Party Marketing Organization. And it just doesn't make sense for all of those different parties to be lumped into the same category and regulated all together, right? Call centers, everybody, right? So by clarifying TPMO definitions, strengthening oversight on predatory call centers, standardizing agent restriction, and removing certain barriers such as the 48-hour waiting period on scope of appointments. Additionally, it requires the HHS Inspector General to review and report on the impact of harmful marketing practices on Medicare beneficiaries. The Big I continues to communicate with members of Congress about the valuable role that licensed and certified independent agents and brokers play as they work directly with Medicare beneficiaries throughout the year. Amen, by the way. Amen.
Yeah.
Because that is that's the message I've been wanting pushed for.
Yes.
So this episode of the Seven Figures or Bust podcast is brought to you by Everything Senior Insurance. Guys, if you're looking for an FMO in 2025 to be a partner with you and really support the overall growth of your business, Everything Senior Insurance is the one-stop shop to allow you to get plugged in with great resources. Whether it's ACA contracts you're looking for, whether it's Medicare contracts you're looking for, whether it's final expense and life contracts that you're looking for, Everything Senior Insurance has got you covered. We provide a free CRM in seven-figure CRM to all of our agents that meet the proper requirements on their contracting and have enough contracts with us. We provide discounted leads with Lead Heroes, discounted virtual assistants with Hire Heroes, and we provide just year-round support to just be there and help you out in your business, as well as fantastic training. Glenn, what do people need to know about Everything Senior Insurance, the FMO?
At Everything Senior Insurance, we've really combined all of our resources to create an FMO that can be a true one-stop shop for a senior insurance agent. Most FMOs have only maybe one resource or even no resources beyond offering that contract. We want to provide value to you as an agent to help you grow your book of business. Or if you want to create an agency, we want to help you grow your agency. And there's so many resources that we have put together to really help you grow your business. So if you are looking for a true partnership, someone that will invest in your business, please reach out to Everything Senior Insurance. We would love to help you grow.
Thanks for listening to this message. And now back to the show.
Oh,
So-
you muted yourself.
Anyway, a lot of great things in this. The most notable
Yes.
one that's going to catch the most headlines is the potential removal of the 48-hour scope of appointment rule. Now, this is not a far-gone conclusion that this is going to happen. It has to be reviewed by our friends at the Senate Finance Committee, who I just put a hit piece out on. I had a couple people comment. I had a couple people also reach out to me privately that they're like, this isn't good. You shouldn't be doing this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, listen, someone's got to speak the truth. Somebody's got to make it known what's going on Capitol Hill.
Yes.
But this is certainly possible because I've lived through it. We both lived through it.
100%.
When I first came into this space in 2014, the 48-hour scope of appointment rule was definitely in place as it is now. And it went away under the first Trump administration. The CMS commissioner administrator who we had at that time before our friend, what's her name? Shaquita came into power.
How could you forget your favorite person's name?
By the way, if there's anyone connected with Shaquita, I would love to interview her for 5 hours straight. I have a lot of questions.
Go 60 minute style.
Yeah. And then we'll edit it down to like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this was removed before. It was under the Biden administration that their CMS leadership brought the 48-hour requirement back. For those of you that haven't been around long enough to remember these developments. So this happened before.
Was that not shocking to see that come back? I really thought once it was gone for good. Like I really never would have guessed it would have made a comeback for any reason.
It was definitely shocking because it is, I've said it before, unapologetically the stupidest rule, the stupidest requirement. And it's so refreshing that there's senators out there that understand the difference between agents and call centers, agents and marketers, and understand the value that agents play in the lives of their clients, and who's advocating for us with the Senate Finance Committee to push this through. Like I said, there's no guarantee that it gets accepted, but it's being talked about, it's being discussed, and it's being advocated for on our behalf by a couple of senators who understand the value that we play as agents. So this is something that's important to keep very close tabs on. One thing I thought was, oh man, I'm going to get so much shit for this next part. But do you want me to do it, or do you want me just to not do it? Do you want me not to get us in trouble? I don't have to get us in trouble.
I'm here for it.
Well, the first time around that the 48-hour scope of appointment rule went away, I remember NABIP taking credit for it, but I don't think they had anything to do with it. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I wasn't in those meetings, but they took credit for it. So, but my whole thing was when it came back, they didn't do anything to stop it. So if they had all this power and influence, I'm sorry. But anyway, so they came out in August and they applauded this Independent Brokers Time Act, which great. Thank you for applauding it. That's great. And maybe there's things that are going on behind the scenes that I don't know about. That's last time I had this line of conversation, that's kind of what the pushback was. I get it. I understand. But I think this has so much more to do with who's in power than the advocacy groups, at least for our space. I really do believe that. I'd like to believe. Oh, hang on. Is my audio all screwed up again?
No, I can hear you just fine. Yeah, I'd like to believe that. I mean, again, reading, like, it was shocking going through that, and we went through this previously, but it almost sounds like an insurance agent was involved. That's how much clarity was there, which, again, if you're in the government and you're trying to, clarify previous regulation, or you want to put new regulation, you think you'd want to have someone who's like in the trenches right there with you, who can really help you outline. For whatever reason, a lot of what we've seen coming out of CMS over the past, 6 years, it just seems like a lot of it hasn't been from a position of actual agents or people in the industry. A lot of it has just been government officials vomiting things from the top down. Let's get people from the industry involved. And to me, what I'm hearing when we're going through that, it sounds like maybe it actually happened, because something like clarifying who a TPMO is, that was crazy from the beginning. Like,
Totally.
it should be very clear who a TPMO is, instead of this vague lawyer, definition of, well, anybody who talks to a Medicare beneficiary technically could qualify as a TPMO. And then you're transferring data, even if you're an agent and you own the agency, and blah, 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 blah. Just like all of this jargon. Like, let's simplify this. Let's clarify it. Let's get rid of this unnecessary red tape. Because again, the 48-hour rule, which we've talked about a lot, and yes, it is intact right now. You do have to follow that rule right now. It only hurts Medicare beneficiaries, in my opinion. It's all it does. It's all it does. It slows them down from getting the help they need. Christian's talked about what his dad said, and I love it because it's so true. It's like, you can get a house, you can go buy a gun in a lot of places. You can do all of these like major potential life-changing things. You go get a massive student loan, like all of these different things you can do in less than 24 hours. It's like, if you want to put a 48-hour cool down on things that are so important, like, let's put it on everything. If this is such a great idea, let's do a mandatory 2-day wait on everything. But no, health insurance for seniors?
Of all
That's
things.
Where we're drawing the line. Like, what?
Of all things.
Mehmet!
And, I'll say one last thing on the NABIP thing, and then I will shut my mouth entirely about that. When this all went down, I've been around a long time, and I have a great memory. When this all went down, they took credit for the 48-hour rule going away originally. They also said that they were pushing, and they believe, and the communication I got was, I was on one of their events one time, and they were basically making it sound like that they were close to getting the scope of appointment gone altogether. But of course, that never happened.
Yeah, I remember that. What does that mean when something's close to, like?
It just means they're asking for it. They're asking people
have another
for it.
cookie, Mom.
Yeah, it's like one of your children or one of my children being like, "Can I have another piece of ice? Can I have another scoop of ice cream?" No, you may not. But they're close to getting.
Next day, talking to their friends, I almost got 2 scoops last night.
I was close.
This close.
I was close.
This close to a second scoop of ice cream after dinner, guys.
Yeah, you should have seen it. My dad looked at me, and I could see it in his eyes that he was thinking about it. The wheels were turning.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're gonna get in trouble on this one, but that's okay.
Please don't cancel me. I can't talk about that without being canceled every time. I'm very hesitant these days. But I wanted to just report that they made a public statement about it, which I've criticized them for not being loud enough about things in the past. So good for them. Good for them for saying something.
Yes.
I'm glad to know that my $300 to $400 a year is being well spent. To make statements. Okay, anyway, so this is a this is a great thing, a fantastic thing. And yeah, I think
What do you think? What do you think ETA is on a potential like, if you were to think the most aggressive timeline possible, what would you guess?
I would say probably the soonest we could see something like this would probably be AEP next year for enrollments for plan year 2027 is probably the soonest, I would imagine, if this
Would
goes
this come
through.
through a final rule again? That's what I was trying to understand too. So Senate Finance Committee signs off on this, then CMS would put it through a final rule, and then it would go into effect potentially 12 months from now, essentially.
The way that I read it was this will be, if this does get passed, it's the whole proposition is basically instructing HHS to do this. So HHS oversees CMS. So HHS is instructed by the Senate Finance Committee. HHS then, from a domino effect perspective, instructs CMS, which probably would show up in a final rule. That's what I would anticipate.
That's kind of what I figured when we were talking about this earlier.
So, yeah, I mean, all in all, guys, and again, like Glenn said on the TPMO definition, that's just as big, in my opinion, as the 48-hour scope of appointment rule portion of this. The 48-hour scope of appointment rule is going to be the thing that gets the headlines. It's going to be the thing that, people care about, and it's the one that just capture a lot of attention, because a lot of agents probably don't even really understand the whole TPMO portion of it. But if you're being regulated the same as a call center, as a lead vendor, as a technology company, as an FMO, it just doesn't make sense for you as an individual single agent, if that's you, or even a small agency, right? Like for us at ESI to be regulated the same as Integrity or AmeriLife or, eHealth or GoHealth or SelectQuote, it just doesn't make sense. Different types of organizations. But again, CMS has never understood the differences between certain organizations and each other. And so, yeah, I think clarifying that definition is a wonderful thing for agents. And I think it will basically cause more regulation to come down on some of these other organizations that a lot of you probably feel like are causing some damage, like call centers. Not all, there's good and bad call centers, but loosening some of the load on the shoulders of your single independent agents, which I think is a good thing.
This is kind of the typical timeline when the government does something, they pass some type of legislation. It's like it finally gets worked out, or some of the kinks get worked out, but like it takes years. It's like they'll pass something, it's messy, it's not coherent, there's conflict inside what they pass. And like, I think this is applicable across probably all government agencies. I don't think this is just CMS. And then years later, finally, there's a lot more clarity. Some of the bugs get worked out of the rules, the legislation. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I would be ecstatic if the 48-hour rule goes away 12 months from now, if we see some other potential regulations or rules rolled back. Again, the new CMS administration has only been in office for about 6 months now. So they're in their infancy as far as their ability to make an impact, in my opinion. And we've already seen, some good things, and I'm hoping we'll see more. I think 12 months from now, we'll be able to really look back and say, this is what they've been able to accomplish. I think that's going to be a pretty big timeline as far as their length of being in power and their ability to make change.
One thing that to kind of piggyback on your point of the slowness of the moving of all of these types of things.
So slow.
This bill was introduced July 31st, 2025. And it still has not been reviewed by the Senate Finance Committee. We're in September 10th at the time of recording this, right? So review, basically back in July is when it was introduced, and it's still waiting to be reviewed. That just kind of speaks to the just turtle like speed of these things actually progressing. But it is good news, and it's fantastic. I think it's fantastic, and a good thing for agents all around, because man, it's such a dumb thing. It's such a dumb thing. I can't get over it.
It is. It's very dumb. Yeah. So hopefully we'll see them actually, I guess, vote on that, or it comes. I know they probably have a laundry list of things, and they kind of go down the list. So hopefully we'll see that come to fruition here, maybe before the end of the year, you think? Any guesses?
I don't know. I'd just be guessing at this point.
Throw the dart. Throw the
I'd
dart
say no.
for me.
I'd say no.
No before January 1st.
No.
I'd take the under. I'm feeling bullish.
They're too busy screaming at RFK Jr. for 3 hours. That's what they're too preoccupied with.
We are getting towards the top of time.
Senator, you are so full of shit.
That's pretty good. Have you been working on that?
Yes.
Of course you have.
You are given drug money. Senator, you were given $850,000 from drug companies.
You gotta get I can't even begin to try. It's the craziest sounding voice.
Understand the senator at HHS. We will bring transparency.
When he announced he was running for president, and I listened to him for like the first 10 minutes, I was like, "There's no way." I'm like, "This is crazy." I'm like, "There's no way. There's no way."
Yeah, you gotta. I mean, part of being presidential is being able to communicate in a powerful way. And in his defense, he's got a disease,
right?
Like
yeah,
that.
Right.
But you're right. Again, it's it might not be fair, but that is the reality of things.
Yes. We are approaching top of time, as we discussed yesterday. As we get closer here to top of time, it might be good to move into final thoughts on today's episode. Mr. Brindle, thoughts on episode 152?
Yeah, two things I want to mention on my final thoughts. Number one, we will keep a close eye on this bill and see if it progresses, see if there's any news that comes out about it. If it does and moves forward, we'll be the first to let you know about it. And you'll be able to kind of learn more about it here on this show. But I think it's very promising, and I'm encouraged to see some people in the Senate and in the government pushing for us as agents. I think that's tremendous. Number two, guys, don't sleep on these preset appointments. Man, don't sleep on them. Like, I can't say this enough. It's not a lead. It's an appointment. Like you're buying an appointment. And there's no other service out there that you can buy appointments at scale, at large volumes, and get them at a quick turnaround time. It just doesn't exist. None of them.
And at this cost, a lot of other vendors that I've seen do something, they're charging almost double what we're charging for these. It's crazy. So yeah, I couldn't agree more. I'm excited so my final thoughts on today's episode, you guys. I'm super excited to see that there's some positive momentum, it looks like, coming in at the top, as far as the people in charge. So hopefully we'll see that start to trickle down to us going into next year. I'd like to think that maybe we start to see next year's final rules start to clarify a lot of this messiness that we've had over the past few years. And maybe we see some regulations and rules rolled back. So stay tuned. We'll keep you updated as always right here on the Seven Figures or Bust podcast. Freebie Friday. It's happening this Friday. We're giving away some of these incredibly valuable preset appointments that you can use for this AEP. And all you have to do to qualify is comment on one of our live streams. Every time you comment on a live stream, it gives you one entry into the giveaway. We're planning on doing 4 streams. Are we doing one Friday?
I'm planning on it. If you
We're
are.
doing one Friday. You just heard it here, folks. We did 9 hours Monday, and we're doing 4 episodes Tuesday to Friday. So
I was even considering doing a stream tonight. We'll see what happens. Let me know if you guys want to see that. I was thinking about, it's been a while since I busted out one of my 2-3 hour streams in the group or something like that, but I might do that. We'll see.
Wow. We're getting a little Christian's just pulling the veils back. We're seeing all of it this week. I was imagining you on drums when you first said that there. You're like, it's been a while since I've busted these out. And the thing is, again, we have so much going on right now in the industry. We want to provide as much information as possible to you guys, and we'll probably plan on continuing a lot of this going through the rest of this month. So Freebie Friday, all you have to do is comment on one of the streams. We'll have 4 streams this week, so that's 4 entries to potentially win preset appointments from Lead Heroes. And until next time, you guys, that's my final thoughts. Mr. Brindle, take it away.
Guys, thanks for watching all the way to the end. We certainly appreciate your support. Whatever your platform of choice allows you to do, make sure to give this video a like, comment, subscribe, 5-star review on the audio-only platforms. And we'll be back next time with another episode of the 7 Figures or Bust podcast. Here's to your massive success. Thanks, everybody.